Welcome to the show. Let's begin. This afternoon, there's panic among residents of the Kumasi community where the two Canadian kidnapped victims were held by their captors. Some residents say they've received death threats from unknown persons they suspect to be linked to the kidnappers. Those who can have started fleeing the community, whilst the rest remain in a state of fear. We'll take you there shortly and also bring you some more on the background of those behind the kidnapping. First, though, Ohime Teria with a report from the facility where the Canadians were held during their time in captivity.
19-year-old Bailin Chiti and Lauren Patricia Catherine had been missing for about a week after 4 men bundled them into a red Toyota Corolla car at the entrance of their private hostel at Inshaeso in Kumasi. CCTV footage of the scene is said to have led to the arrest of about 10 people in separate operations at Sawaba in Asokore-Mampong municipality and Kenyase Achiase, leading to the rescue of the women. Police crime scene team had cordoned off the area as handful of residents witnessed events in disbelief. At the time of our visit, police personnel had picked what they say is a grenade at the scene. Spent shells, believed to have been fired from shotgun, are scattered at the scene. It feels very stuffy in the 2 rooms, with personal belongings of male adults scattered all over. The mattresses and blankets, believed to have served as resting place for the Canadian women, look very dirty on the floor. The 2 rooms have uncompleted bathroom in between them, with wet floors indicating very recent usage. A few residents have met a very reserved gentleman who lives in that house. This woman who witnessed the rescue operation tells Joy News little is known about the occupant, who is always seen in winter hats.
I know
only one gentleman who lives in that house. We exchange greetings anytime we meet. I only heard of the kidnapped women after police rescued them. The last time I saw him was during the Eid al-Fitr. I have since never set eyes on him.
Her narration was corroborated by another resident.
I am surprised someone chose to bring the kidnapped women here. I can't even imagine it. I saw phones and unwholesome food, including noodles, in there. It baffles me how someone will bring them here.
From Kenyase Achiase for Joy News, Ohime Teria reporting.
Now, Ohime joins me. He's our man on this beat from Kumasi. He joins me on the line. He's going to tell us more about the concerns of these residents, and then we'll take you from there. Hello, Ohime. It's good to have you once again. You've just returned from the place where you filed this report, a place where these girls were kept. Tell us more about the concerns that the residents are raising now.
Thank you, Gifty. Actually, what we do know is that 2 residents are complaining threats on their life. And these 2 residents, only one has reported the incident to the Kenyan police, asking for police assistance and protection in this regard. One of them is a trader, 35-year-old trader, who says her life and that of her 6 children are in danger after a vehicle supposedly belonging to an ally of one of the suspected kidnappers chased and trailed her daughter, who had then closed from church. The daughter fell in that regard and broke her leg. As we speak, there's no idea as to whether she may want to take the doctor to hospital, but she says her life is in danger and expects police to give her protection. In terms of the threat, she has received a threat on her husband's phone. Some comes in the form of text messages. Some who are bold enough have called several times on the husband's phone and her own phone, accusing her of leaking information to police that actually led to the arrest of the few suspects who were picked up yesterday and then Wednesday night. And beyond that, there are people who have also been speaking to her harshly in the community for what they say she is a woman who has led police to the scene. But when I spoke to her, she tells me she had no idea of the exercise or the operation until news got to the community, and as a hawker, she was hawking roasted groundnuts in the community when somebody told her where the incident had happened. So she was just asked for direction by media men, and when she got to the scene, because she's a resident in the locality, they spoke to her, reviewed her identity on TV, and now she is in trouble.
Well, one thing that we need to make clear, though, is that here on Joy News, we did not disclose the identities of these people that we spoke to on the ground. These people have had their identities revealed by other media organizations they spoke with, and they've come under this attack. But, Ohemi, what is police saying? Are they giving them any assurances of their security?
Yes, immediately they reported the incident to police. A team followed her up to where she lives and to kickstart investigations into the alleged threats. Police have also asked her to provide further details, especially those who are involved. But the unfortunate thing is that she's unable to provide the identity of those who have been threatening her, because most of the threats have come on phone, through phone calls. So that's the difficulty. And police says there's a particular person that she mentioned, and this particular man in question is nowhere to be found. So police has promised to intensify their investigations, the search for the man who actually, I'm told, is a real owner of the house where the police team picked and rescued the two women.
Okay, so let me just get this clear. The person who owns this building is not a part of those arrested. Is this a confirmation we can have from the police?
Yes, that confirmation will not come from police, but from the information I have picked from the ground and few people who know this gentleman, especially for this from this woman. The woman even tells me she was not even aware that this particular man owned the house. She got to know that probably he's connected to the kidnapping when she started receiving threatening messages to the fact that she has already revealed his identity to police, of which he has no idea. So the belief is that probably this man is the one who owns this house where the two Canadian women were rescued, and then 5 other people were also arrested at the same location.
Well, I guess then that at this point, then the police will need to give us a bit more information about those that they arrested and whether or not the owner of this house is part of them or is still on the loose. But Ohimi, help us understand. You indicated that those who called or the threats that came to this woman came mainly through phone calls and text messages. Have their numbers been given to the police as well?
Unfortunately, police are not prepared to share more light or throw more light on the case. They say that this is a case that has just been reported. So yes, they indicated that they are doing a lot. And I want to believe that this could be one of the most that they want to use to investigate, track the real owners behind the phone numbers that called her husband, and also sent text messages. And beyond the text messages and the rest, she told me how some people that she has never even met in the community, will just accost her and start casting insinuation and aspersions on her for her role, especially leading the police to the house. So it goes beyond receiving text messages and threatening phone calls and that. Now she's posting up somewhere out of the community, I must say, and then she thinks that even where she is not safe, and she needs more protection from the police. I must say, beyond the Kenyan District Police Command, where it has already gotten to the regional police headquarters about the threatening messages or threatening the life-threatening messages that the woman has received and her family. So I want to believe that the regional police command, who that promised to take up the matter, we want to also give more protection to the woman.
Okay, I mean, two quick things more before we let you go. Regarding the ownership of this building, yesterday at the press conference, the information minister indicated that there was somebody who provided harboring, in his words, harboring for these kidnappings. But we know that they've been moved from one location to the other, from Asokore Mampon, Sawaba to Kenyase, and etc. Which of these locations, which of the owners at these locations is the minister talking about? Do we know?
I'm sure the minister was referring to the Kenyase Achiase one, because if you monitored the briefing well, he did not dwell so much on what happened at Sawaba and then Asokore Mampon, for instance, except the two men who were arrested at Sawaba. So he made reference of the harboring, especially the relation to the Kenyase Achiase house, where the women were picked and supposed to be the last point where they were kept. So I'm sure the harboring the minister mentioned is in relation to the Kenyase Achiase house where they were rescued, and that is the same house that has come in question, where the woman or the two residents in Achiase are being threatened for allegedly revealing their identity or leading police to the house for the rescuing of the woman. So that is where I think the minister was referring to.
Right, an accusation which, of course, the residents have strongly refuted. They did not lead the police there. They only spoke to a few media people.
Yes, residents, almost everybody that we spoke to in community has no idea of the presence of these gang. All that they do know is that there's a gentleman who used to live in that house. Even they have no information. Okay. So the only description that they give is that he's somebody who always seen in winter hat. And I must also say that the scene still, continue to attract people who go there to catch a glimpse of what the media has been reporting.
But this is a cordoned off area, isn't it?
No, not as at now. After the police crime scene team left, the only police presence was this morning when I'm told the investigative team, CID personnel, led the Canadian officials to the scene. Though we met them few meters from the scene, we didn't meet them at the scene. So the place is no more a security zone, let me put it that way, because anybody at all can go in there, monitor developments. The doors have been left open. You can enter without any difficulty at all. There's no police presence.
Okay, let's talk about security in this community, in this area. Give us an idea what it looks like and how risky it is for people like this woman who have been threatened or who have reported that they've been threatened.
It's a bit risky because settlements in this particular location are apart from each other. You can walk to about 10 or 20 meters before you meet a settlement that has occupants in there. So it's a newly developed site, as we call new site, and we don't have a lot of people within this enclave who are already occupied their homes. So there are few people who are caretakers, and some of these caretakers use the place only in the night. So they go to work, let's say in Kumasi, and return in the night, few minutes or few hours that they spend there, and they go back to their normal businesses. So if somebody wants to attack you, the probability is very high, because you can be attacked at any point in time, especially when you are walking in the night. The place is very dark. There's no electricity or power in this location, and even has, in between those settlements are bushes. So if you are walking from one point to the other, you will not walk less than 2 minutes, and then you have to walk through a bushy environment before you reach your destination.
And I take it there is no police station, or there is no police in this area at this moment?
There is a police station. The nearby police station is at Kenyase. It's a district command. Even the last time I spoke to some officers. The indication was that even the district command don't have enough men to provide security in the area. So in terms of security, there are deficiencies. If we are to use the entire police force within the district command to provide security at Achiase and its environs, that won't be enough.
Ohime, thank you very much. But we need to know what next. What do we have any idea? Are you picking up any information as to what next for the hostel, for the police in the region, for the people in the neighborhood, for all of these people? What next? Do we have an idea?
Yes, there's a lot in the offing, because, for instance, police says the rescuing of the woman will not end the story or the case. The case goes beyond the rescuing of the two Canadian women, and that is how come the crime scene team was so vibrant at the scene, trying to pick up pieces to connect the dots, who has done what and who is involved. And beyond this, they are still monitoring developments to also track people suspected to be involved in the kidnapping. For the hostel, I'm not too sure whether the managers will want to start the process to get the license to run it again, because when the officials of the Ghana Tourist Authority went there, the indication is that they did not have the license to operate. Beyond the license, there was no security, there was no CCTV camera on the premises. So they have to start everything afresh to get the permission from the Ghana Tourism Authority before they can operate. And for residents of Achiase, the memory of the fact that two Canadian women were kidnapped for about 1 week, and police and security agencies tried in vain in that regard before they managed to rescue them from their community, would continue to live with them. And some of them still think that there's something that police can do beyond what they have done, especially taking some evidence from the scene. They should continue their search for people suspected to be involved in the kidnapping. So they are still living with these memories.
Ohime, thank you very much for that update. Ohime Teria, the member of the security desk here at Joy News, who has been following for us this story since it broke and helping us with the very latest as well as some analysis as well.